So weight loss and detoxification. So you see, we can't talk about weight loss without talking about obesity. What are we losing weight for? That means excess weight. Then we'll talk about weight management itself, talk about the importance of weight management, factors of weight management. We can't talk about all these things without defining what body mass index means. It's a very popular terminology that is used to classify how overweight one is. Detoxification comes next, then the importance of detoxification, then we move straight into Clean9 and its features and benefits. Obesity is simply excessive detrimental accumulation of body fat. What this implies that our weight is directly influenced by the amount of body fat in our system. Fat is a way our body stores excess energy. And energy stored in food is measured in what? Calories. Hence, the higher the calories we consume, the higher our tendency to accumulate energy stores in our bodies as what? Fat. What this simply means is that as you are eating, you are taking in energy in form of food. And if the amount of energy you are taking becomes too high, your body needs to store this energy in a way that it can use it some other time. And one of the best ways our bodies store energy is in fat. That's why when people eat more, they get fatter. That's just a simple explanation of this. So weight management simply means the process of achieving and or maintaining a healthy weight via certain activities, techniques, and psychological processes. Now, so from basic principles, weight management is a function of calories consumed. As aforementioned, remember, calories are a measure of the amount of energy in what we eat. And versus calories expended, that would mean the amount of energy in form of, in quotes, fat that we have burned out, probably as a result of exercise and a lot of other metabolic processes that we try to induce. So hence, weight based on energy balance is a maintained weight. That means the calories consumed equal the calories expended. Then in weight increase, the calories consumed exceed the calories expended. That means there's more to store in the body as fat. And then weight loss means the calories consumed are below the calories expended. That means the body is burning off energy, burning off fats and other substances that it does in form of energy, and it's also measured as in calories. That means the more you exercise, the more you lose weight, and the more you encourage processes that help to maintain your weight. Take a typical example is footballers. They run around the field for night. Have you ever met a fat footballer before? I mean, like a footballer like Yokozuna running on the field, it's almost impossible. They are all fit and they are all very trim and proportional because this exercise they do running around for 90 minutes helps them to burn off the excess calories as energy. So the fat stores of energy are burnt off in calories as they run around the field for 90 good minutes or more. So and remember that calories consumed are simply from food and drinks, basically. So the calories expended are from basal metabolism. That's the energy that is used to sustain life at rest. You see, there are some people that no matter what you give them to eat, they will never add weight. They are always slim. Most times, if all things being equal, it's because they have a high metabolic rate. They may not run or jog or do anything. Give them an elephant, they will finish it and still remain slim. You know, because they have a high metabolic rate. That means the energy their body requires to stay alive is already high enough to sustain a balanced weight. And of course, physical activities like exercise, as aforementioned, can also help us to increase the amount of calories, aka fat, that is expended during those physical activities. As you can see, this woman is worried. I don't know, she has bought another tape again, trying to measure her waist to know how fat she is. but I hope she gets C9. Now, examples of factors that influence weight gain or weight loss include dieting. You see, you are what you consume. You cannot get something out of nothing. You know, some people say, oh my God, I don't know how I added this weight. There's nothing like that. You were eating, and when you were eating, your body could not handle the amount of food you were eating, and it had to store it somewhere. That is why when someone goes to jail, or when somebody falls sick and loses appetite, you find out that they go slimmer. Because since the body did not have any other thing to eat, it had to begin to consume what it has, which is mostly fat. Then we have the Mediterranean diet, which is a very good example of what we are supposed to be eating. I'll show something. I'll show that to you again later. Exercise actually helps us to burn off calories. You can see illnesses, certain diseases make people lose weight. Diseases stress the system, and some actually directly attack factors or parameters that make people have weight. And of course, inherited tendency. If someone has the tendency to be able to consume a whole elephant without adding a single weight, trust me, 1 or 2 or 3 of his or her children may have such a tendency, and that's where genetics comes into play. Oh, this is an example of a very beautiful diet I love to show, Mediterranean diet. You see how colorful and healthy this table is. These are the kind of things that we should eat and encourage to help us to maintain a very, very good BMI or weight. That means, you see, how many calories do you think these fruits and vegetables will have? You can easily burn them off, and you know, when you take them, of course, look at olive oil in the bottle there, look at wine and all these other things that can help us to improve our cardiovascular system. Now, BMI. Sometimes some people can climb the scale and it may right to be continued. That means the BMI is actually very high. It has past the level between the white people had, the people, manufacturers even believe a human being can reach, and yet they are still eating. So you see, excess weight makes people sad, and sadness makes people eat, and eating makes people have excess weight. You have to break off this vicious cycle, and then you can deliver yourself. So BMI is simply the weight in kilograms divided by the height in meters square. It is a fair way, not a total way. It is a fair way to classify one's weight. Now, being underweight simply means one is less than 18.5. Normal weight is 18.5 kilograms per meter square to 24.9 kilograms per meter square. This is where we are all striving to be. Now, overweight starts from 25 kg per meter square to 29.9, all the way down to obesity level 3, which is 40 kilograms per meter square. Now we're talking about people that are actually getting closer and closer to the size of an elephant. Now, obesity is excess detrimental accumulation of body fat as aforementioned in the body, as aforementioned, and can lead to people damaging their skills, as this young man has done over here. A simple depiction of how people add weight from when they were leper and doing CC and Co to when they begin to eat and enjoy themselves, till when they begin to sleep in the club, and until when they are back home crying over their weight and they are now qualified obese people. Now, what is the importance of weight management? Weight management, now let's start from what being overweight can cause for people, because that is a way of looking at it from the other angle, so we can have an idea from the other side what the importance of weight management is. Weight management can cause type 2 diabetes. It can provoke and instigate, direct and monitor, supervise and expatiate type 2 diabetes. And remember, type 2 diabetes is one of the kings of diseases. It is a disease of diseases. There's almost nothing on this, no kind of disease you can think of that you cannot link to diabetes. Name it: cancer, high blood pressure, stroke, heart attack, even, in fact, low immunity, infertility, impotence, anything. You just DM me, I will tell you how diabetes causes it. So just imagine that the adipose tissue that store fat in the body, that is what they are called. Forget the grammar, it just means fat cells in the body. Thank you, fat cells in the body. They release a substance called adipokinin. And this adipokinin directly instigates type 2 diabetes. That is why more than 60%, about 60% or more of people that have diabetes are often overweight. Now, hormonal imbalance. You see, fat cells have a very strong role to play with female sex hormones and other hormones because you see, some of them contain materials that are used to produce these hormones that can actually obstruct parts of the brain that lead to secretion of hormones that control female menstrual cycle, for instance. Yes, actually, some of these hormones are derived from cholesterol. So you can imagine that being fat already is producing something that will affect the brain, and the brain affects signaling in the brain that will tell the person, release egg, go for your menses, prepare to get pregnant, and fat has already damaged it already. And that's something we should watch out for. Of course, infertility, for example, polycystic ovarian syndrome, people would have heard about this a lot. Being overweight can predispose of, hey, hypertension. Let's not even go far. Hypertension is because the heart needs more pressure to pump over a wider area. And because it needs more pressure to pump over a wider area, it has no choice than to pump what? Harder. And by the time it pumps harder for long enough, it definitely will begin to lead to what's called hypertension because it becomes sustained. Because hypertension is simply sustained elevated blood pressure above normal. Stroke comes after hypertension. If hypertension is John the Baptist, stroke oftentimes and heart attacks are usually like the Jesus. Now, cancer too can also be caused by excess material. The membrane of cells have a lot of things that have to do with cholesterol and fat substances to produce materials that they need to allow materials pass in and out of the cells all over the body. Now imagine that cancer cells are multiplying without control, and then you now provide them extra material and say, cancer cells, take extra material and help yourselves. What do you think will happen? They multiply even faster because they have enough materials to even add to their membrane production, and mitosis begins to increase. Now, osteoarthritis is what I call mechanical arthritis. Oftentimes, it's as a result of the mechanical damage at our joints. So when someone has excess weight, the upper bone is trying to squeeze with the lower bone, and then the gap that is supposed to be the area that will allow osteoarthritis, right? So yes, so now you can see that this mechanical pressure is increased as people add weight because gravity does not show mercy. As it's squishing the bone under, it is depleting the padding that prevents the bones from rubbing against each other. And that can worsen and lead to osteoarthritis. Of course, it causes breathing disorders. Some people, when they are sleeping, you think that is a mechanical generator that is on beside you, and it increases internal stress and free radicals that damage DNA. Remember that DNA is the managing director, MD, CEO of everything about you. That is why if someone can get your DNA, you can be cloned comfortably without much ado these days, like Dolly the sheep. Now, detoxification, aka detox. This is the medicinal or physiological process of removal of harmful substances or toxins from the human body, especially by the liver and the kidneys. Because the liver is the body's lab. It's a super lab that has more than 500 functions. You can imagine. So anytime someone ingests something that is toxic, the liver needs to either approve, detoxify, or do one thing or the other to that substance to make sure that when it goes into the system, it goes through the hepatic portal vein and does all this work. So you see, the liver itself needs to be free of toxins. If not, it may not be able to function properly. Now, the presence of unwanted submaterials lead to oxidative stress that lead to production of reactive oxidative species that damage DNA and lead to a myriad of health conditions. Number one, cancer. Number two, aging, because remember that the fibroblasts in the skin produce collagen. And if their DNA is not functioning, is not optimal, they produce faulty collagen fibers and find it difficult to hold the skin together, and the person's face begins to fall. And they say, this guy is not old. That means the guy is getting old because his skin is not able to, the fibroblasts are already having issues as a result of free radicals bombarding them, affecting the telomeres and other factors which I don't want us to talk about now because of time. These also include hormonal imbalance, infertility, as aforementioned, rapid aging, cancer, etc., etc. Let us also bear in mind that in as much as we are chasing things high above, we should remember that there are some things that God has put at our disposal that can also help us. And number one is that it's worthy of note that fasting appropriately helps to detoxify the liver via a process called autophagy. I was talking with somebody this evening and I said, mention autophagy as part of what the person should be aiming at. And the lady said, autophagy. I said, what? No. I did not say automatic enjoyment. I said autophagy. And she started laughing. So you can see autophagy is opposite of autophagy because autophagy will help you to reverse unwanted materials. It will convert unwanted materials in the body and use them into, you turn them into useful materials. That means if the liver is clogged up, when you engage in appropriate fasting, the liver begins to engage in autophagy. And that autophagy will help to consume materials that are even disturbing the liver itself, and it will convert them to useful substances. And such a person begins to become as clean as a whistle. So in this process, the liver converts harmful substances, e.g. scar tissue, to useful substances. Bear in mind also, that apart from fasting, which has been given to us free of charge, we have water in abundance. Drinking enough water helps to detoxify the system, especially through the kidneys. As you can see, these people here having a good time drinking water. Now let us just go straight to Clean 9. A simple definition will be, it is a 9 days detoxification and weight management program designed to reduce caloric intake and increase caloric expenditure systematically via use of low calorie diet plan, exercise and supplements while ensuring adequate nourishment. You see how professional this is. This is not the one they give you and give somebody and the person said that you went to the toilet for 3 days and they have lost weight. No, you just emptied the content of your bowel, which of course has weight. And after some time, by the time the person eats again, they say that all these things are not even working. Now, it systematically includes intermittent appropriate fasting that helps detoxify the liver, hence weight management or weight loss and detoxification. I hope I'm not moving too fast, and I hope we understand these simple explanations. But if you have any questions, you can always wait till the end, and then you can ask. Now, the features and benefits of C9. You see, it contains aloe gel. People call it nature's wonder elixir. Remember, I spoke about DNA being one of DNA damage being one of the reasons why a lot of things go wrong in the body. If the DNA of the liver is not functioning properly or is damaged or is being affected, how then would the liver be able to detoxify the body? So DNA plays a very wonderful role in detoxifying the liver that detoxifies the system. Also, DNA, antioxidants, play a very wonderful role in preventing the damage of DNA as a result of free radicals, and also which also helps the liver to perform its function of detoxification. So you can see that's already a step. Then apart from that, these antioxidants that are found in aloe gel, like A, C, and E, also attack free radicals directly. So that means these free radicals that affect, and in fact, that's why people, when they take aloe gel, they begin to have smoother skin. You know, an example is myself, because I seem to be getting, some people say that I'm reversing in age and all that. I drink aloe gel, definitely. And that's also found in our C9 as a bonus and adaptogen, which hence helps to regenerate and rejuvenate damaged organs of the body, which is very, very vital. Because our bodies have what are called somatic stem cells scattered all over. You hear people telling you that they're selling stem cell, etc. That is a very big lie. You cannot sell stem cells. We have basically two types of stem cells. We have the pluripotent stem cells that are often found when babies are growing in the womb and can develop into the eye, the nose, the heart, the leg, the whatever, the legs and hands, everything. And then we have the somatic stem cell found in abundance in our bodies when we are adults. That is why when someone has a cut, the somatic stem cells are triggered to produce cells and try to take that area back to what it was before. Now, aloe gel helps to stimulate these somatic stem cells to actually repair whatever damages may have taken place. So if toxins have damaged the liver, what do you think will happen when one drinks aloe vera gel? You see, it will trigger the somatic system or somatic stem cells in the liver, and those will begin to repair immediately. Bear in mind that the liver is a very powerful organ. If you divide it into three and throw 2/3 away, that 1/3 can grow back into a full liver. Now, imagine giving it aloe gel to help to improve this regenerative function. What do you think will happen? The person will begin to feel much better as detoxification will begin to get improved in his or her system. Indeed, the functions are numerously numerous. I just said a little about this product. If you want to know more, get across to whomever invited you, and you will hear a lot about that product. Now, our C9 also contains Ultralight. This helps to skip meals while providing the body with essential vitamins and biomolecules. Remember that we are fasting and we are having a low caloric diet. But remember that in as much as we're having that, our body still needs some essential things to function. And that is where this our bros called Forever Ultra Light or Light Ultra comes in. So it contains, essential vitamins and biomolecules like vitamin B12, B6, A, D, C, E, copper, zinc, and selenium. And it also helps to promote autophagy, because while you are fasting, it can come in and cover every other thing that is required while your body is undergoing this process of autophagy. Remember, liver detoxification and repair. Fiber is designed to reduce hunger cravings during the program while boosting growth of good bacteria. Now, there's a very strong link between the bacteria in our stomach and our immune system. In fact, it has a strong link between our stomach and our brain function. Can you imagine? So you can see that when you take this fiber, it helps you to calm those cravings down. Rather than you feel super hungry while you're going through this, it helps to calm you down and give you that sense of satiety so you can continue to move forward with the process of weight loss and detoxification. Yes. Oh my goodness, STEM. This is one of my best products. You see, there are 3 ways our body accumulates fat, basically. Remember, from what we consume. Another one is when the rate at which one consumes calories through food is less than the rate at which it is burnt off during activities and metabolic processes. That's number 2. And number 3, because cholesterol is so important in our body, you find out that it is produced by every cell in the body. And because it's produced by every cell in the body, different people have different tendencies of production. And its production is often more at night. That is why when people take drugs like Autophagy and all that, they take them at night. Because cholesterol is produced more at night. That shows you that these cells are working seriously, producing cholesterol. But cholesterol is definitely, there is fat in quotes. But guess what? If we can be able to convert this fat to energy, that means as we are slimming down, our body is having energy to do more things. And in that way, we'll not feel weak when we are doing this during our C9 program. Because our detoxification and weight loss program will be able to go smoothly and we'll lose weight the way we want to lose weight and also have enough energy to carry out our activities. How wonderful is this? So, you see, it contains raspberry ketones, which may also support fat metabolism breakdown to produce energy, thereby reducing the body's cravings for more food. aka calorie consumption. Remember what I said about consumption being more than expulsion, meaning that there will be a deficit in the body, and that will be fat. And remember, the definition of obesity and being overweight, aka being overweight, is detrimental accumulation of body fat. Now, Garcinia Plus contains hydroxycitric acid that hinders production of fats from carbohydrates. And definitely when we eat a lot of carbohydrates, you don't want it to enter into the mevalonate cycle and begin to produce more fat. That's why you see a lot of people that have buka and have canteen. You see that many of them are often fat because they taste here, taste there, taste fufu, taste pounded yam, taste apple, taste whatever. At the end of the day, one way or the other, they begin to add weight. In fact, before you go to a canteen in some places, and the woman can be as fat as you say, okay, that's the cook. In fact, we use it to know who the cook is in Africa. So you can see that the hydroxycitric acid in Garcinia Plus helps us to mitigate this issue. And of course, we have a measuring tape, which serves as evidence of effectiveness. And we also have a book guide as a guide on how to use C9 during the C9 program. Remember, you are what you consume. There is a constant battle between factors that repair and protect our bodies and those that break it down. Be on the winning side. So thank you very much